If you're watching this video, then you're probably interested in our wash and wax service. And in this video, I'm going to be going into detail as to what we do to prep your vehicle for our wash and wax service. Now, as you can see, first things first, we always start with the wheels and tires. We want to spray down with our wheel cleaner, and we're going to clean the tires, the inner barrels of the wheel, the face of the rim, and yep. And then we move on to our next step. Now for our next step, we go into our pre-wash stage, and basically that is where we're obviously going to rinse the car off, take off any loose dirt, and then we're going to go into our foam cannon step, which basically foam cannon is basically so that we lift up all the loose dirt off of the surface without really having to touch it. And for the soap that we're using, we use a specific soap that basically we call it a surface cleanser. So basically it's gonna strip off any old waxes or sealants that have been on the car, so this won't be applicable for new waxes and sealants, but for old ones, just so that the new wax that we're applying can bond to the surface as best as possible. And as far as wash method, we use our 2-bucket wash method, and we go panel by panel, top to bottom, and basically we're working in that soap. And like I said earlier, the soap that we're using is stripping off any old waxes or sealants that have been put on the vehicle. Now after we're done washing the vehicle, we're always going to want to rinse off any soap that's left over. And then we go into the process called the clay barring process. And basically, the clay bar has abrasives which can take off any contaminants within your clear coat. So maybe the car has a rough feeling. We get that surface smooth again. And another thing that the clay bar does is, since the soap does not remove any newer waxes, maybe it does take off any previous protection that has been added onto your vehicle, so that, as said before, the wax that we apply can bond to the surface as best as possible and last as long as possible. Now that we're done with the clay barring process, we do want to make sure that the vehicle is dry. So we start off with our Ultra Plus microfiber towel. And then after that, we do get our blower so that it gets into those crevices that may have trapped water, so that as we're applying the wax, it doesn't drip out and, let's just say, leave any watermarks. So now that the vehicle is all dry, we do go into our wax application process. And I'm sure you guys are wondering, how long does this wax last and what kind of wax do we use? So the kind of wax that we use is called butter wet wax by Chemical Guys. And this wax can last anywhere from 3 to 4 months with good maintenance. And basically we just apply it by machine. It's a lot quicker that way than by hand. If you have any more questions at all, please feel free to contact us by clicking the Call Now button.